Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now today we're going to be doing, it's a bit dirty, just a little chip in the rim. You certainly don't want that in life, as a chipped rim. But anyway, today we're doing a porter, and we're back up in the northeast. I'm doing another beer from the Hadrian Border brewery. Don't know what's going on with my throat. But anyway, so let's move the glasses out of the way, and we're doing Ouseburn Frontier. No, Porter. What the hell was I saying, Frontier? Ouseburn Porter. I'm telling you, it's one of those days. I'm all over the shop. So this is 5.2. It's from Hadrian Border Brewery in Newcastle. There's a bit of spill in the back. It says, this traditional, robust and satisfying porter uses the best quality ingredients, including rolled oats, to produce a smooth, rich and dark, creamy drink. And I know that a lot of people out there enjoy a dark, creamy drink, so they do. Anyway, shall we crack it open? Look, get a new bottle opener. This was kindly donated to me by John Morris, or sometimes known as Johnny Morris, but not the one from Animal Magic. No, this is a different one. But he kindly donated this to me, so I'm going to take it down and keep it in the unit where my office is. So I'm not using them bloody useless knives all the time. So I keep losing bottle openers. I'm 5 down at the moment. And I honestly don't have that in the life of me. Know where the hell they've gone. It's driven me up the bloody wall, actually, because out of them 5, 3 are vintage kind of antique ones that I actually restored. So I did. I refurbished them and restored them, and then I put them away to keep them safe. So I'd actually use them for the reviews, and God knows where I put them. Whereas it probably sounds kind of mad to you, but there's people that know me, including Adrian, that's thinking, again. But anyway, so I've lost 2 since moving up here and getting another place in Scotland. I brought 2 up, and since bringing them up here, both of them have disappeared. But I did gain one though, because I gained one off my boy, because he nicked one, and I managed to get it back off. Took a while and required a golf club. But anyway, I did it. So let's crack this open. Oh, look at that. Look. Great action, by the way. Great action. Right, let's get it poured. See what it's like. I'm actually looking forward to this because I've done 3 beers from this brewery so far. A brown ale, a bitter, wait a minute. Brown, a bitter. I can't remember. No. What was it? What was the last one? Seriously, I'm losing the plot here. But anyway, I'll put it down below. Jesus, I'm going mad. So, as you can see, it's not so dark actually. There's a kind of a reddish kind of tinge and there's light coming through, so there's not too much. I'm lacking a bit of a head, but sometimes porters can do. And I did pour it kind of discreetly. So I did it kind of gently. So what does it smell of? Well, I'm getting kind of chocolate notes. Kind of greenish molasses kind of smells with little hints of chocolate. That kind of little dark kind of bitter chocolate kind of aroma. And that's what we're getting. So let's see what it tastes like. Oh, it's quite a good level of bitterness there, quite a good level of chocolatey bitterness in the back end there. And kind of slightly kind of dry kind of bitterness that you get. And it's really quite nice. It's not a thick porter, it's not an overly rich porter, it's quite a sessionable porter. what it does do is it reminds me a little bit more of the kind of Irish porters you used to get, the double pour porters. It's got them kind of little kind of tones about it. They're a double pour, which basically in the past before Guinness. This is the thing that was killed off by Guinness Nitro Pour and all those bollocks. And Guinness is in the draft. But before that, you used to have a dual pour Irish porter throughout the pubs. And what it was is the first half poured was actually flat. And then the second pour that came from a different cask was actually carbonated. And that's how they used to make it up. Excuse me. But yeah, overall, it's actually some nice flavours there. But like I say, it's not overly rich. There's nice roasted malt flavours. And there's also a kind of nice little bit of sweetness in the mid-tongue. You get a little hint of it in the front of the mouth and it kind of develops in the mid-tongue. But then, near the back end, it kind of dissipates and you're left with this kind of dry, kind of chocolatey bitterness, which again is nice. Surprising enough, this is actually really quite nice. It's definitely a sessionable porter, which isn't a bad thing, because it tastes like it's been brewed to be more of a sessionable porter. It didn't get there by accident, because sometimes you get kind of sessionable porters and they're not really supposed to be sessionable. They're there by accident because they didn't really kind of hit the points that they wanted to hit initially to be a more kind of richer, more kind of traditional, porter. But yeah, this has got a nice kind of lightness to it. But still got body, if you understand what I mean. So it's not overly rich. So there's a lightness to it that makes it sessionable, but still has a nice level of body with it and good kind of intensity of flavours. So yeah, I'm actually enjoying this. I'm a lucky person, I really am. And I would definitely recommend people to try getting some Hadrian Border brewery beers. What I find really strange is, I remember, what was it? It was when the takeover of Newcastle United, and I remember Sky being up there, and you had Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville and all that type of stuff, and they were interviewing the Newcastle fans and things like that, and they're all kind of sitting about these kind of bars out in the kind of the street and things like that. And they've all got these bottles of Newquay Brown, so they have Newcastle Brown Ale, and they're all drinking from the bottles. There is some glasses there, but they're all just kind of swinging from the bottles. Strange enough, you notice that Carragher and Neville's bottle was untouched. They never touched theirs, because hey, I don't know whether they know about beer or they just don't really kind of drink in a beer anyway. I don't know, but this is what harks back. I'm sitting there thinking, they're all sitting about drinking that, when you've got a brown ale made by this brewery, which, oh God, it's another world away from Newcastle Brown. It's so much better. And you're sitting there thinking, all them bloody beer drinkers drinking that piss. And let's be totally honest, Newcastle Brown, it is piss. Especially nowadays, it's utter piss compared to what it used to be. In fact, what it used to be was actually a blended ale, but I don't think it's the case it's done that way now. And if it is, then whoever's doing the blending, oh Jesus, you should be sacked, because you're blending it dreadfully, because you should be able to make a better beer than that, blending beers together, than what you're putting out. Although in saying that, you may be starting with rubbish to begin with. But I just always find that disappointing when you watch that and they're all drinking that Newcastle Brown. You're thinking it's not a piss water. And then you've got a local brewery producing quality beer, really good traditional brown ale, and nobody's drinking it. You're all drinking that shit. You're thinking, arseholes. I mean, that's what I'm sitting there thinking. Arseholes. Seriously. You don't deserve good beer. You really don't. When you've got it right on your bloody doorstep and you're drinking that piss from a conglomerate who doesn't give a fuck about you, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's quite sad. And until basically people change their attitudes and say to the big conglomerates and your macro lagers and your macro beers and all this type of stuff and say, no, shove up your ass, I don't want it. Although, there has been a story recently which I just thought was a bit ironic. I think I mentioned it in a previous video about basically they surveyed beer drinkers and they're claiming that they're actually bored of the selection of beers that are available in the local pubs. You've only one person to blame. Oh, that is nice. That really is nice. Right, we'll break down the flavours because I don't want to just bump my gums. Right. That is nice. Start off with you get nice kind of molasses tones right at the start. Not much sweetness though, but you get the molasses tones and you're getting grain. And that's the thing that kind of hits you there. You're not getting that kind of overly rich sweetness that a lot of porters have. And it does feel so false. This feels a lot more natural because from the roasted malts you should be getting more of a kind of burnt toffee kind of molasses, or basically black treacle kind of vibes. So it gives you the kind of, how would you say? It gives you the perception of sweetness, but we're not actually giving the sweetness, and it's like that because you know it's a kind of sugary kind of syrup kind of flavour with a kind of slightly smoky burnt edge to it. And you expect, because again with a lot of the porters you get that sweetness that goes with it. This one doesn't. This gives you more of the kind of molasses tones without that sweetness, which, let's be totally honest, it does taste more like black treacle, so it does. And with the grain, it's just a nice kind of flavour profile to start with. It's subtle, but the intensity is good, but it's not trying to give that big bang. And from that, it actually makes it more enjoyable because it's not giving you this kind of barrier to get over. Because sometimes the cases that I've had porters where I don't really like the front of the mouth. I like the mid tongue and the finish, but I don't like that. But it's a hurdle I have to keep getting over every time I take a sip, which obviously kind of puts me off it. And it just feels like, you think, see if you made your front end just that little, kind of dyed it down a bit and just have that less of that sweetness, then it'd be fine. And this is the problem because you're losing kind of the intensity of the bitterness from the porters a lot of times when you have too much sweetness at the front end. It just kind of cancels out quite a lot of the bitterness, and it just makes it sickly as well. Even for sessionable ones, you think, yeah, it may be sessionable mouthfeel wise and everything else, but it's a bit sickly just because I'm sick of this bloody sweetness. So this is the thing that stands out with that one. Moves on to the mid tongue, and that's when you start getting a little bit of sweetness coming through. You've still got the kind of molasses or black treacle kind of flavours. You've still got the nice kind of roasted grains, and you are starting to get a little bit more kind of burnt edge, a little bit more smokiness coming through in the mid tongue. But you're also getting this little bit of sweetness coming through. But again, it's not much. It's a little bit, and it just kind of changes the mid tongue a little bit from the front of the mouth, and just makes it a little bit more interesting, but also helps just to kind of control that kind of burnt edge, that kind of little kind of smokiness that you're going to get. And then of course when it gets near to the back of the mouth, then basically kind of that sweetness dies off and you start getting ramped up with this more kind of dry kind of chocolate bitterness. You get little hints of it in the mid tongue, but just little hints of bitterness, but it's not really giving you that much of a chocolate edge. It starts to give you near the back end. So basically just at the back of the tongue before it starts to go into the kind of back of the mouth and aftertaste. That's when you start getting that chocolate kind of vibes and you start getting that kind of bitterness. And it's nice because you're getting the two that are associated should be together, actually being together, because again, a lot of times you start getting the kind of little chocolate edges in some porters in the mid-tongue, and then you get a little bit of bitterness there, but the two of them aren't really connected, whereas other things just seems to be kind of working together, and the kind of flavour pairings are actually pairing up. None of this vanilla tones, none of these other stupid kind of adjuncts, and I think that's what kind of stands out. I don't think they've added anything to this whatsoever. I think it's au natural. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Oh, I'd like that in a pub. I really would. I'd like that. One cask, just getting wired into it. But nice mouthfeel. Carbonation just right. Very sessionable. But the flavours are just right, spot on. They're very natural. They work well together. Good intensity. Again, nice body without that kind of over rich kind of feel to them. So you could drink this in quite a few different seasons, not just in winter. And yeah. It's a porter. It's one of the best porters I've actually managed to enjoy for a while. Actually, in the UK, I enjoyed a couple when I was in Portugal in the summer, but this one is actually very nice. It just works. It's nothing fancy, not trying to kind of reinvent the wheel. It's just like, it feels like we want to make a porter and just want to make a good solid porter, and that's what they've done. They've made a good solid porter, but it stands out because there's so much shit about where people are trying to reinvent the wheel and make it special and add vanilla tones and God knows what other shit. Sickly sweet edges, false chocolate edges, false coffee, all that kind of stuff. I'm not getting so much the kind of coffee so much to it. Some people, again, it depends what people's palates are like. A lot of the bitter edges comes across to me as a kind of bitterness, whereas some people would taste it and maybe get a little bit more coffee from it with that kind of bitterness rather than so much of a chocolate edge. But again, that's down to people's personal kind of palate and how they taste things. So I don't really get so much of the kind of the special kind of coffee vibes with a lot of porters. I get a little bit more of that with roasted grains in stouts. I don't really get it with the porters when it's a roasted malts. I'm just really getting the kind of more chocolate edge. But yeah, so what would I give this out of 10? There's a question. But again, that's 4 for 4. I've only got 4 bottles from this brewery, and this is the 4th one. And I'll be totally honest, it's 4 for 4. They've all been good. They've all been really drinkable. And I think that's a great thing. So, on that basis, what would I give this out of 10? That's nice. I'm going to have to kind of go and be honest and say, yeah, I'm going to have to give it an 8. I'm kind of toying, should I give it 8, 8.5? I'm going to give it an 8, but it could easily be an 8.5. It's not that far away. So it's kind of like, you know, kind of fluctuating between an 8, 8.5. But it's a nice, good, honest porter with really nice flavour profiles, nice intensity, nice mouthfeel. And it just feels that it hasn't been pissed about with. It just feels like it's made from natural ingredients and it's really a good recipe, well brewed with good ingredients, and that's what comes across. So it's a 500ml bottle, it's 5.2%, it's an 8 out of 10. I definitely would recommend all the beers I've tried from this brewery because they have been really, really good and it's been very surprising, but a good surprise. So thanks for watching, cheers, and bye for now.